So now we're going to move on from machines, and what we're going to look at is this thing called a truss. And if you understand machines pretty well, then trusses should theoretically be a little bit simpler, but some people may have difficult understanding how to solve these problems because there's some tricks to them that are not obvious to spot. So what we're going to do, we're going to define a truss. So a truss is basically a structure that consists of only two force members. So let me draw something that you may have seen something before. So you have a two force member here, a two force member here, a two force member here, and then along here, then here, and then you have something that looks like this. You have all these two force members acting along these lines. So you may have one that looks like that, and maybe one right here. So every dot, so let me label these dots. So every dot, or every two dots, consists of a two force member. And this, let's take for an example, AF is not a member by itself. It's actually composed of two members, a member AG and GF. So each member, or each part, is actually a two force member. So that's what a truss is. And when we explode these four free body diagrams, or explode the structure into free body diagrams, we're actually going to draw just two force members and the joints, these dots, as their own free body diagram. And what's very important to know is that all two force members, their forces act in the direction of the bar or the member itself. So let's say for this one, that's going in that direction, and then its reaction force be in that direction. So that means the point G, if you look at the point G by itself, it would have a reaction force pointing in that direction. And then you would repeat this process for every member. And what's important to know, if you cannot take moments for these free body diagrams because all the forces interact at one point. So that means if you take a moment about G, the moment should equal 0 because there's no perpendicular distance to that point from the force. So what we actually can do is treat these connections as particles, and from there we could do the basic force equilibrium equations. So that's what we're going to be studying for the next couple of videos, and going to do a few examples of these trusses. But the basic idea is that every member is a two force member. And if you understand that concept, then you can actually simplify this problem a little bit further.